Aloha and good morning from Lower Henry, Anchorage. This is just downstream from the town of Henry, and we are actually here with two other looper boats. I'll show you them right there. And it's a very, very nice protected anchorage. We hardly moved at all. I thought we were on a boat. It was that rock solid here. But we're going to go down. It's supposed to rain today, but no locks, and that's the good thing. We don't want to be outside in the rain doing locks. So we're going to go down about 40 some odd miles to Peoria, and if we feel like it, we may go through the lock and stay in the pool after the dam. So we had two boats there staying last night, and that's usually a good anchorage. So we'll see how we feel. But right now we're going to head down for about 6 hours or so and head down to Peoria. So join us on this journey of our boat story. Come along.
In this episode of our Boat Stories Great Loop Adventure, we leave the Lower Henry Anchorage near Henry, Illinois, and head west past Peoria to the Mackinaw River Anchorage near Mapleton, Illinois.
Aloha, we are Sava, Cynthia, and Alex, along with our two dogs, Lucy and Shadow. We're traveling America's Great Loop, a 6,000-mile North American waterway from Florida to Canada and back down via the Mississippi. Follow us on this journey on our boat called Mahalo. All right, let's get started. That is the synchronizer, and that controls it. Now I only have to use this one here to control my engines. I control both engines at the same time, same RPMs. Now I don't have to try to figure out which one is going slower. So on the left there, you will see the Lower Henry Anchorage. On the right is the Illinois River looking from the back. This is it. We're leaving, going down the river. It's going to be a rainy day. And windy. About 15-mile-an-hour winds is projected around noon. So we'll see. We'll just try to keep going here. Alex got the anchor up. Good morning, Alex. Did you get your coffee, Alex?
Not yet.
Okay, coffee time. You can see some workers right here doing repairs to the bridge. Probably part of the infrastructure bill. A lot of these bridges need a lot of work. A lot of hard work. Whole set of barges here. They look like they're in the channel. But anyway, they look like they're full. No, they look like they're empty actually because they're so high up. Well, heading further down. So here's a restaurant with a floating dock right here in this town. So behind us we have lightning and into the Mystic. I believe that's what's behind us. Here's a nice floating dock and Chillicothe, I think it's what the name of the town is. But just thought I'd point that out as we go here on this very wet day. We can't even do time lapse right now because it's raining and it's very, very windy. So we have lightning overtaking us right here. And into the Mystic, I believe that's them right there. They're going to pass us here in just a moment as well. Another looper boat passing us here into the Mystic. Cute little lighthouse over there. You can see it's a lighthouse. It's a marker, but it's just different. So. That's lightning up ahead. Time and Tide passing us here on the Illinois. It's raining, it's windy, but still beautiful.
So it's a rainy day. I'm filming Peoria out of the side door. And here is the bridge. And Zava, what do you want to tell them about this?
The free dock is coming up on the right hand side there.
Is that the one with the posts? And kind of an octagon little house. So this is a free dock that anybody can tie up to. Okay. Is there any power or water or anything? There are no services, but it looks very pleasant. I think you might have a little bit of noise from the bridge, but this is where you could dock in Peoria. Looks like almost like an old-fashioned train station right there, doesn't it? With the fancy little roof. And it looks like you probably could walk to some restaurants and whatnot within walking distance. It looks like it's a town center. Very attractive. A lot of rain coming in. So it's very industrial, passing just past Peoria. You can see, look at these tall cylinders. I'm not even sure what kind of factory this is. We are heading up toward this train bridge that is still elevated for us. We did call and they said come on through. So that will set us up for getting closer to the lock. We don't want to get behind. We have a couple of other looper boats that are going to go through with us. Look at the water coming out here. Is this for cooling, possibly? So, for the plant, you can see the water just gushing out. That's probably why this factory was built on the river, so they could utilize the water. So you can see some barges that are here parked along the sides. Obviously, there's a name for this. Fleeting. So, if a barge is not being used, they're parked until somebody needs to come and get them. And you've got like 4 of them here. 5. On the back, there's another huge flat factory on this side that goes quite a ways. You can see the bridge and the back view of the factory we just saw. So this is the area called Peoria, Illinois.
Aloha and welcome to Kuchie's on the Water, which is just right past Peoria, which is down that way. And we have a free dock here to tie up to as long as you dine here. This is mile marker 159. We had a good dinner, very friendly service, clean bathrooms. What more can we ask for? So Kuchie's on the Water was our stop before the Peoria Dam, which we're waiting for our clearance, waiting for the barges to clear up so that we can go through. There was 2 doubles going up and down. So they've been there since 6 something this morning. Anyway, waiting for our time to go, and then we'll head on further down the Illinois River. Aloha, so we left Kuchie's restaurant. It's only about 1.3 miles to the lock. The lock master told us to come down to the Peoria lock. As you can see here, a lot of barges lined up. I don't know if they're locking through or not, but right now he says it's our turn in about 30-45 minutes. So we're going to go stage up by the lock.
So we had a really nice lunch with 2 other boats and at a restaurant that Zava will put underneath. And back here, the lockmaster is helping our other 2 looper boats get tied here right before the lock. So coming back up here to the front to show you that there is a tug who's going down with his load. Once they're done with him, we'll be able to go in. And he was just explaining to us about adding water.
Well, he's in charge of also controlling the dam. They're going to let some more water out because it rained. They're letting us anchor below the dam, but he wants us to be further away and to the north shore of the river. But we can anchor there tonight.
And the reason we're trying to stay back is because he's doing this adjustment.
Yes, there's going to be a little bit more flow from the river.
And so we want to make sure their anchor is holding. and all that good stuff. Are we anchoring or tying to a wall?
Anchoring.
We are anchoring.
Yep.
All right. So as you can see, this tug ahead of us with his barge is it looks like it's almost empty, doesn't it, Zav? Or it's emptying.
It's not too deep. Yeah, it's not too much of a drop.
And then we continue on down. How far away is our? Oh, it's right after this that we will.
It's right past the dam here on the right side.
Oh my. Okay. Interesting.
All right, so that tug is moving out right now, that barge. You can see him moving out of the lock, and it's not that big a drop here, so it shouldn't take too long to fill and then get us ready to go down. Okay, so here we see the lock right here. Alex, there are no bollards here. So Alex is holding the line. He's using the cleat for leverage right here, right, Alex? Yeah. Okay. And there, the anchorage would be back here, but it's quite a wash. So we may, pointing right there, is the anchorage. So we may go down just because it rained quite a bit and there's quite a bit of wash. So anyway, so let's go see how Cynthia's doing. Lucy's here. She's paying attention to what's going on. She barked at the lockmaster already, and he was very kind not to scold her. Here's Cynthia right here. It's a rough lock, but it's a very short drop, maybe 10 feet. So it's a short drop. All right, we see the lock opening slowly. As you can see, it was not a very big drop. I would say maybe 10 feet, maybe 15. And we're at the bottom. One more lock on this river and we are done. So we're going to go for probably another 45 minutes or so to the town of Pekin, or Pekin, not sure how that's pronounced, Illinois. And there's supposed to be a dock there that we can tie onto. We'll see how that works out for us.
We just made it through the lock along with two other looper boats that we had lunch with, and the captain is giving kisses to one of the first mates.
Yep.
So we are going down to tie to a wall, possibly a floating dock. It's not on the
Pekin or Pekin, we don't know how it's pronounced, but that's what it is. There's supposed to be a floating dock. We're going to see if it actually exists, but Jeremy says it's new and it's not on the charts. So we'll see.
Which I like the idea of a floating dock tonight because the lockmaster said they're adjusting the water level. As you can see, look at this.
It's low.
It's low. We're staying right in the middle of the channel. I can see one of the green markers right there. We've been making good use of these bright neon green and neon orange microfiber cloths to wipe the condensation when we've had the isinglass windows closed. Right now we have them open because the rain died down a little bit. It's pretty water in a way, very smooth, clear. I'm not seeing any wildlife that I can share with you. You know, yesterday we had the two bald eagles. Today I haven't seen any notable fish or other things. It's raining so much, you know. But it's still pleasant. I'm so glad we decided to make this a travel day and get a little further on down the Illinois waterway because there's more looper boats trying to come along as well. Action. So we are getting closer to what we need to go to of that floating dock. I'm having to film through the isinglass right now. We are following a barge and there's an oncoming barge, or it's parked. That's I'm not sure of. But we are following behind the moving barge going toward the floating dock.
I don't think two barges can pass each other here. This is way too narrow. The water table is too low. I think we're at least 5 feet below what the river's supposed to be. So
the barge on port is parked, right?
Yeah, he's parked, I think, to let this one pass, and then he's going to go to the lock, I think. Or he's waiting for instructions from the lockmaster.
So the barge on our left is just in pause because it's really not the channel. But I guess that's his holding pattern, waiting until he gets word from the lockmaster.
And there's a railroad bridge right up ahead.
Look how unique it is, Alex. It has like, looks like lattice, doesn't it?
Yep.
Else, I've never seen one quite like that. Looks like someone's got a cottage on top.
A tiny little house on the top
Yeah,
of
it's a
the
workhouse,
bridge.
but it looks pretty big. Maybe they have to stay up there.
Yep.
So this is the bridge that Alex just filmed, and it's a rail bridge, and it's definitely in function. There's a light on up there in their house, and the man was out here walking a minute ago. Looks like he's looking out the window. And very unique. So they must have a living space up there for whoever's on duty. You can see the wheels. Very cool structure. So here's a back view of that house up on top of the rail bridge. And we just came through a very narrow section, and that's where the barges have to go through of that bridge. And we're just looking for a place. We're looking at the possible anchorages. There's one of the green markers right there. And we need to get tucked away because it's getting dark and within 30 minutes. And we need to be safe away from the barges. Here's the red marker here. It's so narrow for these barges to squeeze between that red and the green. I see a factory over there with a big smokestack in the mist. It's very pretty here on the Illinois waterway, but so much water level being decreased. We're seeing so much of sandy bank, which I'm sure is not the norm. So we are coming up to a small island that is kind of like at 1 o'clock, and it has a little green marker on it, so we know that that is the right side of the channel versus the. So we just don't know how deep it is though over
Mile
here.
marker 148 just as a reference. This is where we're going to have to just about.
So our goal now, there's an anchorage listed on the other side to the right of this island, not on this side.
Mackinaw River, Anchorage.
Which is an interesting name. You know, we went to Mackinaw Island.
Yeah.
So
Now we see that, yeah, there's not much water on that side of the
there's
island.
not much, and there's debris and logs in the water there. So we're going to go around this island and take a look. Now, if it's too shallow, that means Mahalo has got to keep going whether or not it gets dark. So follow along. We'll all find out together.
What?
Tell them what you're doing here.
I'm washing off the grassy cod.
Okay, so what are you doing? How do you do it?
Well, I dip it in like this. And then toss.
And that's how the backyard gets rinsed. Now, in all fairness, we also have a concoction we spray on there, which is half vinegar, half water, and some drops of peppermint. And that does several things. One, it kills the odor. Two, it keeps the flies away. None of the insects like peppermint or vinegar. So, but this is what we have to do every so often, usually once a day, to rinse the pads. Aloha to Mackinaw River, Anchorage. It looks like we're in the middle of the river, but we really aren't in the middle of the river. We're actually on the side of the river, out of the channel. We had to do that because they already pulled the docks for the winter at Pekin, not sure what the name of the town is. This is about mile marker 148, and Mackinaw River, I guess, is that right there. Not much of a river, so don't get all excited. I don't know where the river is. All the same, we're glad to be here. Thank you for joining us today on this journey. Mahalo, and please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, tell your friends. Makes a world of difference to our little channel. And we'll see you again next time as we continue on down the river, heading west on the Illinois River. Thank you so much for joining us.